Lots of parents today are complaining about one thing. Their child cannot concentrate. Their child does not sit still. Their child is distracted. The child is stuck to the mobile. The child is only interested in gaming or laptop or devices or television. Today, parents don't know what to do, and I'll tell you, even teachers are very worried. They also can't seem to remedy the situation because children cannot sit still in the classroom. They don't seem to be able to hold their minds at a place. So it's a pandemic situation almost, and it has increased after the COVID pandemic in many ways. How do we remedy this? Can we remedy this? What is the problem? So if your child is stuck with the mobile, with electronic devices, with the internet, with gaming, what kind of a problem is it? Is it because the mind cannot concentrate, or is it because they are not interested in anything else? Is it both? It's both. That they are not interested is one thing, but that they cannot concentrate, they don't have the ability to concentrate apparently, is also there. Now, one of the things that comes up is, look, when they are operating their mobiles or they're into gaming, they're thoroughly absorbed. If it was a problem of not being able to concentrate, then how come they can concentrate on gaming? Because gaming has action. If on a screen, if you put just a dot and tell them to look at it, they won't. They want action because they can't hold the mind still. Now that is not only a kid's thing. We as adults can't hold the mind still. Stilling the mind is really a very tall order. Whole of yoga, whole of mind work is about being able to control the mind. So the mind is naturally restless. But now it has become more so, especially with kids, because there are a lot of digital distractions. Because the pandemic made them sit at a place and it affected the natural growth of the child. So now what do we do? This is what has happened, and it's not like we can stop the digital revolution from happening. It's going to get more and more intense. So we have to cope with the accelerated change that's happening around us. How do we do that? How do we help our children to become masters of their mind to the extent that they can direct their mind, and when they need to focus on something, they can. So first things first, we as adults need to understand properly, deeply, what is concentration? How does it work? What are its forms? How can you instill it? How can you develop it? How can you intensify it? And how can you increase the span of concentration? Of course, it is age dependent. Age has a role to play in this. Secondly, we have to understand the difference between wanting to concentrate and being able to concentrate. If a child is not interested, that's another story. And very often we will take that up. That's a totally different topic. And how do we tap the interest of a child? What can we do? There's a lot of beautiful stuff that can be done over there. We'll talk about it another time. Right now, let's keep our focus on developing mind control. How can you help the child to have power over their own mind, so that if they want to apply it to, let's say, studying or sports or something, they can do it. Okay, so first I want to share that, look, today this is a real problem. Children are not able to concentrate even when they want to. I've been into education for 30 years and children have said, look, our mind, it gets frustrated, I can't focus, it's too much, what to do? And I've had a lot of sessions with kids about this. Those who are genuine, they really want help in being able to focus. Some of them want to sit and study, but they think we can't. We find it difficult. What should we do? So this is where I will be sharing over here a couple of insights. Those are very important. Look, there are 1,000 techniques we can do, but if you try and do the techniques without understanding what really concentration is, how the mind works, what is its relationship with let's say habits, or the qualities of fear, or emotional stability, or the family environment, or the school environment, or the environment of the world at large, then, and if you think an isolated technique is going to be a magic wand that's going to remedy the situation, well, that's not going to happen. So once we understand what concentration is and how it knits up with the mind, how it's a part of the mind, how important it is, then we can actually apply the techniques in a way that they actually work. So we'll explore this together slowly and but systematically as to what is concentration, what are its forms, how do we go about developing it, what kind of an environment we can create, how do we cope with the limitations in the environment, whether it's a family environment. If somebody is going through a difficult family environment and there's a lot of emotional strife, it's going to affect the mind of the child. Concentration is going to be difficult. Does that mean things are hopeless? Can we all have a perfect world? Are we not going to have problems? We are. And yes, we can do something. Definitely we can do something to help the child from where the child is right now. Whether it's, of course, the techniques and the approach for teenagers have to be different from those, let's say, who are below 7. So different techniques have to be adopted and different approaches have to be adopted, but they are all possible. And I would say take heart if you are a little troubled with your child not being able to concentrate, not focusing, not listening. It all can be done. Just a little patience and a little understanding, and you will see that some significant difference will happen in some cases, and definitely some difference will happen for all cases. So let's explore this together. There's a lot we can do.